Hello, driving intelligence community. What you see here is my favorite vehicle ever in my lifetime, my 2002 Harley-Davidson F150 with the factory supercharged engine. Basically, it's a Lightning with 4 doors. And while in the junkyard, probably a couple weeks ago, I picked up some kicker speakers. They're 6x8s out of an F150, and they look like they were brand new before that truck was wrecked. I took them out of that truck, put them in my white F-150, and I want to take the good kickers out of the white F-150 and put them in here. But this video is not necessarily about the speakers, but what I found when I was putting the speaker in here is that some of the fasteners are loose in there, and if you've got some vibration or some really bad noise, distortion coming out of your speaker, it could be something other than the speaker or the speaker cone. And I'm going to show you in a second what that is. The door panel is removed, and if you want to see how I did that, stay tuned to the later part of this video, but I really want to just get to what I thought was a problem with distortion on my speakers. All these screws from the factory were loose. I've never had these door panels off before, and I was surprised how loose these are. And of course, all this will vibrate and cause distortion. Could cause more distortion with this vapor barrier. So if you want to just take off the panel to make sure all these screws are tightened and not necessarily replace the speaker, you can do that. But what I'm going to do is actually take all this off. I want to replace it with the kicker speaker, but make sure all these fasteners are tightened. I'm not setting this up for the video, but these fasteners were super loose. This one was actually the tightest. These were completely loose on this speaker enclosure. And all these speaker screw holes were finger tight. So I recommend you check that because, again, it can cause distortion. Ran into an issue after I got the kickers in. I had no sound out of this speaker, and you can see I've got some corrosion there that I've cleaned up and tested, so it's working again. But I need to sand it a little more, and I'm going to use a little dielectric grease to make sure that there is no more corrosion. I'll link this in the video description. And now let's get into the removal of the door panel if you want to stick around. All right, thanks for sticking around. Now I'm going to show you how to get this door panel off on a 10th Gen F150 Supercrew. Similar to the front door, the first thing you want to do is pull this plastic bezel out. I had to use both hands, that's why I didn't record pulling it off, but it snaps in place. The next thing we'll do, similar again to the front door, is take off this plastic trim. And again, you just pull it off gently. You don't want to pull too hard. You want to break those tabs off. I've done that before. The next thing we're going to do is take off 4 Phillips head screws. There's one here, and then 2 on the bottom. Next, we're just going to pull up the panel that holds the power window switch. And we'll disconnect that electrical connector. And last, we need to remove 1 7mm screw. What I like to do to make sure I don't lose that screw is put a piece of painter's tape on there that will hold it in the socket while I'm getting it out, because it's hard to reach it when you're going for that thing underneath these little panels. And again, just like the front door, we're just going to pull it straight up and straight out. And that's it. So if you got some scratchy distortion coming out of your speakers, it might not be the speaker. You might want to check it out and see if it's just the fasteners. Hope you liked it. If you did, give me that thumbs up, and I'll see you next time on Driving Intelligence.